Hey guys, Spartan Jess here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the main three Magnum kits from Airsoft R&D, that being the M6, the M6C, and the Socom variant, all designed for the Action Army AAP-01. Now to start off, I'm going to teach you guys how to disassemble the AAP-01 so that you can attach these Magnum kits onto this platform, and then afterwards I'll be sharing my experience with these kits and what my opinions are about them. So with all that being said, let's get into the assembly process, shall we? So first I'm going to show you how to disassemble the AAP-01 for the Magnum kits. First thing you'll want to do, you want to push down on this button in the back, and pull up on the top receiver, and it literally just snaps off like that. Now with the top receiver taken off, you want to take off this screw right here. Now with that screw taken out, all you have to do is, pull off the front exterior barrel. Now that we've taken off the front exterior barrel, you're going to want to take off the rear sights. And when taking this off, you want to hold on to these two screws because we're going to be using it for later. And this is what you should be left with. Now let's move on to assembling the M6C kit onto the AAP-01. First step you're going to want to do is attach your rear sight replacement. This is going to allow your M6C slide to rack back and forth freely. And with those two screws that we've taken off the rear sight, we're going to put them on this rear sight replacement. And I'd say get it as tight as you can. You want this thing as close to the top receiver as possible. At the same time, keep in mind not to strip out the threads. And it should be attached just like that. Now that we have a rear sight attached, let's move on to putting on our trigger guard. So it's very simple. As you can see with the little nudges on the interior of the trigger guard here, a little shroud that goes around the bottom of the pistol grip. It's literally made to snap in place of this little opening right here. And attaches very easily. And now for the M6C and later on for the Socom variant, we're going to want to take out these screws right here. Now let's attach our bottom front portion of the M6C. After removing the bolts, you just slide this on top of your inner barrel like that. And once that's on there, we just place these little long miniature bolts. Make sure not to do it too tight. Now that we have our trigger guard and our front bottom portion of the M6C attached, you're going to want to put on your top slide. Now before you do this, Airsoft R&D highly recommends applying silicone oil on top of the top receiver here and on the interior of your M6C slide. Reason being is whenever you do that, it's going to cause your slide to rack back and forth way more easily and more consistently. If you run into sticking problems, you're definitely going to have to sand down the interior of your slide a lot more and apply more silicone oil. Once you've applied your silicone oil, all you have to do is, well, just snap your top slide into place like that, and with your little larger bolt that comes with the kit, just drop it. Just put it into the back like that and use your Allen wrench. Now make sure not to do it too tight because that could be another reason why it has sticking problems as well. And just like that, there's your fully assembled M6C Magnum kit. Now you can replace it interior barrel if you'd like a shorter length barrel that doesn't poke out of the front like this. So just keep that in mind. Now next up, I'm going to be showing you how to assemble the Socom kit onto the AAP-01. So just like before, come on, you focusing, you bastard. So just like before, attach your rear sight replacement and remove those side screws on the side of the AAP-01. Next, we'll be attaching our trigger guard. Very similar fashion of the M6C. It just snaps into place at the bottom part of the pistol grip. Now after that, we'll be attaching our back slide. And just like for the M6C, Airsoft R&D highly recommends using silicone oil to be applied at the top receiver of the AAP-01 and at the bottom of our slide here. To attach our slide, all we have to do, put it into place right there and put in our larger bolt. Again, make sure it's not too tight. And the last step for assembling this kit is attaching our front silencer. I also forgot to mention that with the Socom and the M6C variants, you can actually attach the front sight of the AAP-01 onto these kits. At first it's essentially pressure fit. So you're just going to have to place it in like so until the holes here match up with the holes on the side of the AAP-01 for our longer bolts to essentially go in. And there's our assembled Socom Magnum kit. Now we finally come around to assembling the iconic M6 onto the AAP-01. So there's a couple subtle differences with assembling this kit compared to the other ones. Just like before, we're going to be attaching our rear sight replacement, but for this assembly, we're going to be keeping our side screws on the AAP-01. Now for this assembly, I recommend taking off the top receiver just like we did before, because we're going to be attaching our front nose of the M6 first. Just like that. And as you can see at the bottom, this hole is supposed to align under this hole right here. So, push it into place. And with that same set screw that we took out of this hole, we just simply put it back in. And now that we have the nose attached, just place the top receiver back onto your AAP-01. Now next, you're going to want to attach your trigger guard. Essentially put the top portion of your trigger guard into place where it fits snug in between the nose and the AAP-01, and snap the bottom portion of your trigger guard onto your pistol grip. And now we're going to want to attach our back slide. Now, just like before, Airsoft R&D highly recommends using silicone oil to be applied to the top of the receiver of the AAP-01 and within the interior of your cosmetic slide. Simply attach your slide, just like that, and place your larger bolt in the back. Make sure it's not too tight, just like before. Now before assembling the rest of your front portion of the M6, let's attach our bottom piece onto our rail and make sure it's covering the top portion of our trigger guard here. And finally, we'll be attaching our top shroud. To keep it in place, we're going to be attaching these larger bolts on the side of it. And this is how you assemble the Airsoft R&D M6 Magnum. And that's how to attach the Airsoft R&D Magnum kits onto the AAP-01. And with this assembly showcase finished up, let's get into my thoughts and opinions about these kits. Now keep in mind, all three of these kits are all separate individual kits for the AAP-01. None of them are really kind of interchangeable between each other. They're kind of designed and made in a way to be very singular in nature. So let's first start off with how the kit looks. In this department, these kits look pretty fantastic. Each variation of the kits truly resemble their in-game counterpart and have a very nice, simplistic, detailed design to them. Concerning the finger guard, this is the very first design that I've seen that really integrates the bottom of the finger guard to kind of snap into place with the bottom of the pistol grip on the Airsoft platform. I thought that was a genius design, easily snaps to the bottom of the AAP-01, and it really keeps the finger guard in place. Now, these kits are 3D printed and made out of an ABS filament material, so they won't really warp up in the heat. One thing that's very apparent with these kits specifically is that the 3D print lines are very visible. So if you're going to want to dress up your own Airsoft R&D kit, you're really going to have to keep sanding in mind for these. So one thing that I ran into a couple of times is the fact that the slides on these kits do tend to stick up on you. Now to prevent this is why I kept saying this in the whole assembly process, sand the bottom of those slides down very well and apply that oil. And once you do that, these kits perform pretty well. And the final thing that I like to point out is these Magnum kits feel like hand cannons, honestly. The size of them really kind of upscales the Airsoft platform itself, and specifically with the M6, whenever I was test firing it, it almost sounds like it's kind of amplifying the shots. Now, I don't know if that's just me, or if it's the actual kit somehow amplifying the shooting of the AAP whenever it's cycling back and forth. I don't know, that's just me. That's something I noticed. So overall, I do like these kits. I love the design of them. You have to be mindful of the sticky slides, but other than that, I do like these kits. If you'd like your own Airsoft R&D Magnum kits for the AAP-01, the 3D files and the physical kits are available on the Airsoft R&D website. All the 3D files are $25 each, and the physical kit for the M6 is $65, and the physical kit for the Socom is $57. Now, I couldn't find the M6C physical kit. I'm assuming that's just not posted up on the website yet, but these are the prices for each one of these kits. And that is my complete assembly guide and review about the Airsoft R&D Magnum kits. Thank you guys for sticking around this long for the video. I'd like to thank Airsoft R&D for sending me their kits for the recent Spartan Brethren raffle. And since we're on the same topic, I would really like to thank my Spartan Brethren. Without you, I wouldn't be able to continue making videos like this. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget.
This is truly Combat Evolved.